Take Me Home Country Roads, beautiful song. And pretty straight up fingerstyle here in my arrangement. The tricky part really is keeping the bass line going, because I'm doing a lot of alternating between root and fifth and keeping it moving. I tried not to sit on the same note for bass note for any 2 quarter notes in a row, just to keep it moving, which provides a bit of a challenge just in fingering and just keeping it going, making sure that things are cut off at the right point. So the beginning, just doing a D here, and throughout the song I'm doing a lot of this little theme, those little triplets. It's really 16ths there. That kind of thing. So that pops out throughout the song. You can skip any of those that you want if you just want to play straight. That's totally fine too. Totally fine. I just added this for a bit of variety. Like that. So that's the intro. Then going to the beginning of the verse then. And I did this as a pull off. Like that. You don't have to do that. You can just pick it too. And notice, keeping the bass line moving. That might be the first challenge here, is this bit of fingering. Where you're keeping the bass line going like that, those 4 notes. You're skipping strings in the left hand. You just have to get used to that, moving your fingers around quite a little bit. And it repeats, basically at the beginning. Okay, then we're into the chorus. Again, that little riff. Okay, and to keep the bass line moving, I'm going up to the 4th fret of the D here. You could just keep going D, A, D, A. You'd play the A twice in a row, which isn't that big of a deal. I wanted to avoid it by doing this. And I found this a little tricky, going from the D shape to opening up that E before going to the A, then back to the B minor. Now here's a very big stretch. And this is a difficult stretch. You can play it like this instead. So after this G, instead of I've been doing it like this with the 5th and that root. You can also do it like this, just to have the 5th and the root right here. You just have the root and 3rd of the G. The way I did it was, okay. In any event, you end up with the open B string as the root, and that's pretty high for a root for the bass note, but it fits in fine, I think. Especially with leading up to it, with this F sharp. Again, that kind of tricky thing to play cleanly from the D to the A. Okay, now I'm jumping up an octave. And I find intonation is always a question when you're doing melody with, a bunch of fretted notes higher up the neck. So I add a little vibrato, just a little bit when I can. Okay, when you do this, don't slide the whole thing because you'll get out of key. So don't slide this whole A string, just what's on the B and E strings. You'll notice here, I lead off with the 5th, not the root, over this G, because I wanted to keep it just moving. Because then it goes, the bass note goes D to G, then back to D when you hit the D note, the D chord rather. So after this, the D over the G, or the G over the D. Then repeating. Okay, this might be the most challenging little move. So you're going very high there with the open B string as the root, and then hitting this F sharp in the bass over on the low E string as you're holding the F sharp on the high E string. Just it's a little hard to hit cleanly. Okay, then back to the chorus, exactly the same as before. The same octave. Then we're into the bridge. String there, or fretted on the 5th fret of the B string. That's another tricky fingering there, keeping that bass line going like that. Just takes practice. Now we have a bit of a key change to add the C in after the B. B minor. Okay, once again, bit of a challenge. So after the B and the C, G. Keep walking up. Hit that F sharp. Or you could just do A and repeat the A. And hitting that A7. Okay, then we're into the final chorus, same as the other ones. So you get to this point. So again, I'm doing this big stretch here. You could do it. You could do it. But you end up on this note at the 8th and 10th fret. Goes on and does this variation for the outro. And I find here a bar useful. Again, a little tricky to move your fingers around there. So a lot of tricky little bits in there, even though it's a lot of straight up fingerstyle, but also some ways to make it a little bit easier. So please let me know if you have any questions, and have fun with it. All right, thanks for watching.